Hey folks, Phil Gallagher here for the last round of Daily D&T for this week. Once again, thank you to School of Maverick for supporting this week of Daily D&T. I hope you all are enjoying it. And we're gonna keep a risky hand and hope that my opponent doesn't force this file. The upside of this resolving is absolutely astounding. Thank you. Awkward, but okay. We do have a great series of things to fight off what my opponent is doing. Super happy to just like not see my opponent slam something like Renin 6 or Tarmogoyf this turn. Because we're probably sending this vial all the way up to 4. We'll be hoping to draw a white source in the meantime. But that's okay. Thank you. Let's try to take this Delver off the table. I know my opponent has Force of Will, so this potentially doesn't happen. But if we get the 2-for-1 here, like, great. Force, pitching a Daze. Yep, totally fine. We're hoping for not True Name Nemesis this turn. Tarmogoyf is fine. It's very good, but that's beatable. True Name, I don't think would have been. God, why does everyone make this misplay? If they had let me search, I would have gotten Batterskull. They would have stranded a Batterskull in hand. Now they're going to just let me cast a Jitte. This is like a super, super basic line. It doesn't require a lot of thought to see like what's going to happen. Opponent last card Daze. Nope. Good news for Phil fans. I'm going to have a couple different ways to use this Flicker Wisp this turn that are all going to lose to different things. Why would you do that pre-combat? Like, literally why? It is so bad to do that pre-combat. If you did that post-combat, you potentially would have eaten my Flicker Wisp. So we're just gonna take a Fog here. See if my opponent's last card is Lightning Bolt to utterly savage me. No, we are not going to block. No, there are arguments for taking out the Delver here instead and just chump blocking the Tarmogoyf on my next turn. But I think this is fine. Yep. Yeah, there we go. I think my opponent made some critical errors that game. They definitely could have had a better chance of staying in that one if they played a little tighter. Alright, so versus RUG, I'll probably want Path, I'll want Rest in Peace, I'll want Council's Judgment. Jailer is sort of awkward when they can be playing True Name Nemesis. I don't think I'll board another, and I'll probably end up boarding this one out as well. So usually I cut my Thalias, and I cut my Phyrexian Revokers as my starting point, and I'm also usually cutting my Jailer. My Prelate, if I can, as well. But I kind of have too many things that I want to be cutting versus RUG. Which is a scary thing to say, because this used to be, you know, an absolute walk in the park. I might end up leaving one Palace Jailer in the deck. And I might end up playing Gideon to just jump block Tarmogoyfs forever. Don't like that this is leaving me at 20 creatures. But Revoker is just not amazing in the matchup. You know, it dies, it grows Tarmogoyf by 2 when it does. Doesn't have a great body. I don't necessarily love this setup. I think this is what I'm going to be submitting. We'll keep the one Jailer in there. I tend to cut it against True Name decks, but like this exact configuration, I have so many things that I want to be cutting. I don't know that I can afford to. A plus Chef's Kiss hand. Could be better if the Caracas was a Plains, but this hand's pretty stellar. I want to play the Swords to Plowshares around Days rather than the Aether Vial around Days. Oh, great, Vial resolves. Super happy to see that. Delver Blind flips to Brainstorm. That's not that big of a deal. And a Tarmogoyf hits play. I want to Swords to Plowshares the Delver, and I'm not sure about this Wasteland. It feels like I'm going to have a lot to do with my mana this game. So let's start here. We may even see my opponent daze to pick up an important land. No. I think I'm just going to let this ride. I would like to cast Council's Judgment on my turn. And since I know they have that Brainstorm, I'm probably not going to ultimately mana screw them. by wastelanding. So I'd rather keep the ability to cast my own spells. I mean, super happy to see the Ponder without the ability to shuffle afterwards. That's great for me. I do think that's an error from my opponent. If they played that Ponder pre-combat, they could have grown the Tarmogoyf by one more. See if they have a Bolt here. They do. That's fine. Tarmogoyf grows into a slightly bigger boy. Ooh. That I think I'll want to do uncounterably. Let's take this Goyf off the table if we can. All right. Everything looking great. Scariest thing would probably be opponent dropping something like an Oko in this turn cycle. So opponent got to Brainstorm and Ponder. They haven't had counterspells this game, despite many opportunities to counterspell. I wonder if their hand is just going to be full of things like Lightning Bolt, maybe Stifle, Hooting Mandrills would be another one they could have. Sure. Honestly, I think I want the Sword of Fire and Ice here. The Batterskull has like immediate upside versus board, but if opponent got smarter between this game and last game, I don't want to get punished. Yeah. See if we can resolve that sword. I have a feeling the answer is yes. I'm going to tap this. Yes. Put that on 1. And call that that. Again, Oko is still the most terrifying thing here by a pretty considerable amount. But Brightling and or Mother of Runes should take over this game in short order. Turn to nature on the sword. Again, that's okay. Recruiter. I like Recruiter a lot here. Do I want to expose it to counter magic? Yes, I'm fine with that. My opponent repeatedly has shown that, at least in previous turns, they did not have counter magic. Although wastelanding this volcanic island and playing out Mother of Runes might just be just as good. Yeah, let's do that. Should have tapped this the other way, leaving my unwastelandable white source up. Again, it probably doesn't matter, but good play habits matter a lot. Hmm. So I can give Pro Green bash in, gain 4 life. Chump block Tarmogoyf with Recruiter on my turn. Pro Green. I could also give Vigilance and Lifelink, gain 3, then bounce it after blocking Tarmogoyf. I think I can throw away this body. I don't think that body matters. Again, I don't think we need to wasteland our opponent. Our mana is best pumped into Brightling as of right now. Palace Jailer is interesting here. Just getting a Flicker Wisp is fine. Getting a Mirran Crusader is fine. Palace Jailer is real bad if they deploy a True Name Nemesis. So I think I'm just going to grab a Crusader. We can crash in for 5 with Lifelink. Hold up, bounce. So if my opponent, if I tap Mother Runes and Brightling this turn, then I can block Hooting Mandrills, take 10, still be alive. I can also just like be a little more conservative, hold the Brightling back for a turn. And then just be much safer with a Mirran Crusader around for following turns. Yeah. I think I will port my opponent. Well, it's kind of weird. I care about them playing True Name, but basically nothing else, given the resources that they have. I'm going to not port. Well, so there's a few ways I can do this. I think I like this. Take 2 damage, take this body off the table, bounce my Brightling, just redeploy it with the vial, protect Mom. Yeah, I think I like this. Tempted to Wasteland, but again, I'm not going to. I think my mana is more valuable than my opponent's mana by quite a bit. Do I want to attack with Mirran Crusader? Could safely do so. But I think I'll hold back for 1 turn and just attack with my Sanctum Prelate. So now I'm at the point where I can potentially like give Brightling Vigilance and Lifelink and start swinging it into the Tarmogoyfs. It's hard to tell how many dead cards my opponent has in hand versus how many things that are just stranded. So like they've been cut off of red. They've also been cut off of 3 mana. They've also been cut off of 1-drops. Brimaz is an insane draw. Super happy to see that. Okay, so I can go... I don't think I want to tap my Caracas now that I have this Brimaz. I do want to gain some life, though. So let's give Brightling protection from green. We'll hold back the Crusader defensively. Return Brightling to its owner's hand. Yeah, that's not that big of a deal. The scariest thing about that is the fact that my opponent has a flyer. Margins are going to be slim here. But I think I'm going to come out fine. How do I want to do this? I could just, like, put Brightling in, completely invalidate this attack. I could double block with Brimaz and Crusader to just get rid of a Tarmogoyf. And just trade Brimaz for that, since my Vial is going to be taxed with Brightling for the next few turns anyway. I don't hate that. I could bounce this Brimaz, but I think it's just better to take bodies off the table here. Oh shit, did I just kill myself by not blocking properly like an idiot? Yeah, I think I just killed myself by Yep. Well, I feel dumb. That's an embarrassing way to lose that one after everything that was going on. So that's the first strike damage, and then I die in regular damage. Don't record videos while talking. All right. So I think we... Oh, yeah, we definitely win that one. All right. I threw that one away just by talking myself into a bad line. Like, I had clearly figured out what I was going to do, and I just didn't do it. Ugh. All right. I'm just going to take a second to kind of refresh myself here. I played the tail end of that super badly after playing very well in the mid game. Note, as a streamer, a lot of your mental energy is going towards, like, talking through lines and, like, trying to be entertaining and explaining things well for your audience. So a lot of times, like, when you watch videos, you'll see someone do something really, really stupid like that. And the reason is, like, we get caught up explaining lines and decision trees and then just miss the obvious thing that we clearly know about and would never miss in paper. I would like to play first. We're going to keep another one of these hands where if my opponent forces the Vial, I just die. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we've probably lost this game now. But again, the upside of the hand is so high that you can't throw backhands that look like that. Hey, we're still allowed to play Magic. Mother of Runes is terrible if my opponent plays Wrenn and 6, but Stoneforge Mystic plays into Daze. The shuffle off the Ponder. I'm going to play around days and into run in 6 here. No, this sort of exact situation is why I play Giver in my builds. But we are not punished for it, luckily. We'll come out super far ahead. Oh, wow. Opponent does not have another land. That's great. So note, opponent casts Brainstorm on their turn, right? So they are Brainstorm locked. They're not going to get another land here. They may be able to try and ponder their way out of it. Oh, get that tiny bit deeper. They get to look at 2 fresh cards here. All right, they have found a land. Really tempted to just slam Palace Jailer on an empty board, but I think putting in Batterskull is just too strong. Hey, if you have the 3rd Brainstorm and you want to redraw one of those cards, like, you can have it. Mandrills? Yeah, I don't care about that. We're super lucky to just hit running lands off the top, by the way. That's something I didn't explicitly say, but I hope that's clear. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we end up 4-1 this league. Played a little sloppy game 2 there, but just kind of ran over my opponent in game 3 after they missed out on some land drops. Wouldn't play this castle again. I think I saw it twice. I think I cried it away both times that I did see it. Didn't see a lot of the one-ofs in the list, like the Gideon and the Sword out of the sideboard, do a lot of work, but I don't mind having them in the list. The Brightling and the Brimaz seemed great, though. Definitely would play those again. So again, School of Maverick, thank you very much for supporting this week of Daily D&T. And if you want to see more of this content in the future, please consider supporting it as well. Cheers, folks. I hope you enjoyed this week. See you again soon.